Hey guys, what is up? This is the Last Word Sports. I want to talk about Justin Fields. The man is on a tear recently, especially the past 3 weeks, I believe. And if you know me and watch my other videos, you know I'm a big Justin Fields guy. I think he's got a ton of potential. I didn't see him using his legs this much. Um, in college, he was more of a pocket passer, but the Bears have found out a way to get the best out of him right now. But I want to talk about, is this success legit? Is it sustainable? And does this cement him as the best in his class? As you know, he was in a draft class that featured five first round quarterbacks. We had Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. All those are in very different situations and have had very different paths to where they are now. But first of all, let's talk about Justin Fields and how they're really using him right now. Watching his plays in the games and watching how they're playing, the Bears, Justin Fields pairs perfectly with a good running game. It honestly reminds me exactly like the Ravens, almost. I mean, they don't have the receiver core, just like the Ravens don't have a great receiving core. Darnell Mooney is a solid receiver. Chase Claypool, I have higher expectations for him, but he's not been living up to them yet. But they have a wide receiver room that isn't the best, and it's kind of evident. There's not guys running wide open. Cole Kmet has actually had a good game last time against the Lions, but you can see Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator for the Bears. A lot of people talk about they're getting Justin Fields moving, and that's exactly right. They're getting him on rollouts. They're getting him on naked bootlegs. They're um, basically finding any way they can to use Justin's legs because that's where he's most comfortable. Doesn't mean he's throwing on the run. He could be on a bootleg, stop, flip his hips, throw. Um, but he has shown the ability to throw accurate balls while going to his left, which is tough. And he's shown the ability to be able to see guys when he's rolling, when he's on a naked bootleg. And not only that, but he's had 2 weeks back to back with a 67-yard run, touchdown run. His legs are a huge part of his game. It's like Lamar, where he's making it look like he's the best athlete on the field, and he might be. I just didn't see this one at Ohio State. Like, his third year, granted, I think he was dealing with some kind of knee issue, not really sure, but he was never running this much. Also, the Bears' offensive line is terrible, so that's probably part of it too. But when I watched it, I wanted to go back and I wanted to be like, okay, Justin Fields is having a good year so far. People forget about the first half of the year. I get that. But let me see why he's successful, and is this something that it can carry over? Is it sustainable? Because we see these spurts from QBs all the time, where they go on a three game tear or something like that, and then a team kind of figures it out and kind of shuts it down in a sense. So granted, they beat the Patriots, which is a solid defense, and they didn't beat the Cowboys, but he played well. And they just beat the Lions, which that defense is not good. But Jeff Okudah looks actually pretty good. Anyway, is this sustainable? So when I watch quarterbacks around the NFL, when you watch those succeed, I think for Justin Fields, you have to look at look at guys like Jalen Hurts and Lamar. I'm not typing Justin Fields. I think he can be a better pocket passer than either of those. And I think Lamar Jackson's a pretty dang good pocket passer. But I think Justin Fields has the potential to be better than both those from the pocket. Right now, I get that he can't really play from the pocket that well because his offensive line is so bad. And you can see that they plan for that because the rest of the play calling sets it up for movement so that Justin Fields has the escapability. But when I'm watching Lamar or Jalen Hurts, they they do have those plays where they use their legs and it's a facet of the offense, but that cannot be the offense. It does not work. It's too almost gimmicky where defenses can plan for that. The best quarterbacks win from the pocket. So I wanted to see, okay, is Justin Fields having these like explosive dancing in the pocket, dodging tacklers, things like that, and then making a throw, incredible throw, but it wasn't within the structure of the offense. It was like a broken play that he turned into something, because that's great. That's awesome. You need that. That's what Patrick Mahomes does all the time. But the thing is, Patrick Mahomes, even Josh Allen too. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, though, when they need a first down on a 3rd and 5, they're not doing that. They're getting to their first, second, third read quickly, finding the open man and hitting him, because that broken play isn't going to always happen. A lot of times you're going to have to win within the structure of your offense. So I wanted to see if Justin Fields could do that. Or was it all of these broken, explosive plays that he turns into something? Well, I don't know how many passes he had, but from what I saw, there was only a handful. I only counted 3, but I'm going to double it just in case maybe there was something that I missed. 6 throws, we'll say, from the pocket, maybe, at most. And Justin Fields threw it quite a bit. I'd say 30-something times. And for only 6 of those to be from the pocket, I don't think it's really evaluatable to say this is something that is sustainable. This is something legit. Granted, he went through his reads on some of those pocket plays. Some of them he didn't even get to the throw. You can see even on the last play of the game, he got so much pressure in his face, but he started to dance and try and escape the pocket when he didn't need to yet a lot of times. But that's not just his fault. That's the offensive line's fault. If you haven't shown an ability to protect, then he's not going to trust them. And so you see him trying to escape, drop his eyes a little bit. He's gotten better with the dropping his eyes. He's looking downfield more when he's escaping, which is good. But I want to see him win from the pocket. He didn't, and it's tough to say that's his fault. I get it. His receivers aren't great. His offensive line is bad. So he has to use what he has. And I respect that. I understand that. I'm not saying that he won't be successful from the pocket. I believe he will be. I believe Justin Fields is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league eventually. I think he has all the tools. I mean, he's got incredible arm. His throwing motion has gotten so much cleaner than it was. It wasn't even bad before, but it is so much cleaner now. And his mechanics don't look terrible. He's got a strong base when he throws. He's got all the physical tools, and then he's got the legs to run and make plays. He's got everything you need in a quarterback. He's got that height as well. He's got all the tools for it. I believe that he will be good. But for all those people saying he's already a top 5, top 10 quarterback, he's not. I am sorry, but he is not. Is he good for what the Bears want to do right now? Yes, he is. He is the not perfect, but he is a good setup quarterback for them right now. He can run the ball, because that ultimately with Eberflus, they want to run the ball and play defense. Luke Getsy's getting Justin Fields involved in the run game, and it's working. Khalil Herbert's playing pretty well. David Montgomery's playing pretty well. I think Herbert just got hurt though, but it's a good situation in a sense of the matching of them, but the talent level around him is not good. And I can't wait to see next year when they upgrade this offensive line. Receivers, maybe you add another, but maybe it's in the draft. If they have a high enough pick, I don't know if there's really a receiver that high justifying it, but you need to add a receiver. You need to upgrade that offensive line, and that defense could use some help too. But basically, all I was talking about in that span was Justin Fields shows a lot of promise, but we need to temper our expectations right now, because I can see one of his next games him coming out laying an egg, because the teams start playing QB contain and a spy on him, and then he's forced to win from the pocket. And the Bears might game plan around that, and they're like, okay, you're going to do that. Well, we're just going to do QB sweeps all day, and we're going to force your guys to move. And that's a way you can do it. But ultimately, I think there's going to be teams coming out that are like, our corners are better than your receivers. We're going to play man. We're going to put a spy on you, and we're going to play QB contain. Beat us. And I don't know if I can say Justin Fields is going to. That's not all on him. His receivers aren't good enough to win against man a lot of times. And Justin Fields, my point is, he's not really, I said it already 1,000 times, he's not winning from the pocket. Like I said, it's not all his fault. But I'm looking at moments where he is protected, where he does have the ability to win from the pocket. Some of them he does. Give him credit where it's due. He does win from the pocket sometimes. But it's tough for me to say he can or can't with so little of evidence, because he has so little opportunities because of how bad that offensive line is. I don't think we can truly say how good Justin Fields is between all the quarterbacks in the NFL, and especially his class, until maybe next year when he has a better offensive line. Because I want to see, how do you play when they play you? Does that make sense? When a team is like, all right, our game plan, stop Justin Fields, take away his running ability, no escape, no bootlegs, beat us. How does he play? Because that's going to be like 80%, 90% of NFL plays. If you watch any other offense, there comes a point where you have to get in the pocket, 3-step drop, throw. And I'm excited to see how Justin Fields handles that. I think he will handle it, but let's tone it, bring it back. I know everyone wants to act like Justin Fields is already at that Mahomes, Allen level, and he's not. That's just silly. He's not. He's not even at Jalen Hurts level. He's not at Lamar Jackson level. I heard some people debating about Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields right now. That one's a different kind of... from the pocket, Kirk is definitely better. But the legs aspect of Justin's game brings up another part, but I'm not going to get into that. But overall, Justin Fields, I think he will be good. But let's just acknowledge the fact that, hey, we don't know if this is indicative of his future, because we haven't seen, when it comes down to it, can he win from the pocket. As far as it goes with his peers in his class, is he the best in his class? I know a lot of people are saying it's obvious, yes. I think it is a tougher question. I know we love how Justin Fields is playing now, but it's hard to forget. Right now they're moving him around, and it fits his style right now for some reason. I didn't see it in college, but it fits him right now. But those first few games where Luke Getsy wanted him to throw from the pocket, it did not look pretty. Granted, offensive line was terrible, receivers were terrible. Was it Justin's fault? I don't know. I don't think it all was. I think some of it was, though. So, when I look at quarterbacks, I do believe he's better right now than Zach Wilson. Mac Jones, I don't really know where I sit with him. Last year he was incredible. He was good. If I was picking between them, I'd pick Justin Fields over him. But I think Trevor Lawrence is the only one that you can really talk about. Mac Jones, you can have the conversation, but Mac Jones almost got his job taken away by Bailey Zappi, so I want to see more from Mac Jones. Everyone wanted to crown him last year, and it hasn't been the same result this year. Granted, the Patriots are still in the run for the playoffs, but Mac Jones needs to play better for me to put him higher. But in my opinion, it comes down to Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is better from the pocket right now. His pocket movement is better. But also, granted, he has a better offensive line. I think they're third in sacks allowed. Might be lower, though, because they just allowed 5 sacks last game. But they are a good offensive line. He has better receivers, in my opinion. Uh, you know, that's tough. I think Christian Kirk is better than any of the receivers on the Bears, but I'd take Darnell Mooney over the other ones on the Jags. I might take Chase Claypool. Yeah, I'd take Chase Claypool over them too. That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna give it an even draw on the receiver front. The Bears do have Cole Kmet too, and he's playing pretty well. Running back, Etienne's better than Herbert and Montgomery. But when you look at how they play, Justin Fields adds more running element to his game. Trevor Lawrence can run, but not as well as Fields. That's not really a debate. It's all about who is better right now and who'd you take for the future. I think it's a tough question. I don't think it's really acknowledged about how tough it is. Because we're getting inconsistencies from both, in my opinion. First half of the year, it was easy. It was like, oh, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence is good some weeks, bad some weeks. Zach Wilson has been but probably Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields does not look good. And then they changed up the offense for him, and now it's obviously Justin Fields. I don't think it flips that easily, because especially when you look at how Trevor Lawrence has been playing the past 2 weeks and what he does. Trevor Lawrence doesn't. His plays, good plays, aren't broken plays. They are within the structure of the offense from the pocket. But at the same time, like, if that was it would be easy for me to say Trevor Lawrence. But it's so inconsistent. It's so inconsistent. And it's not inconsistent mid-game, really. In the game, you can usually tell by the end of the first quarter how Trevor's going to be. Justin Fields, the past 4 games, whatever, has been consistent. He's been pretty consistent. You know what you're getting. They're two different players right now. I think in the pocket, I'm taking Trevor. Out of the pocket, I'm taking Fields. Who am I going to take overall, though? It's a tough ask. It's for the future as well. I think Justin Fields can put it all together. I'll take Justin Fields for the future. Right now, though, I'm taking Justin Fields. It's a tough question, though. It is not easy, and it is the thing is, I don't know which Trevor Lawrence I'm getting. If I'm getting the one Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking him. If I'm getting the other, at least I have Justin Fields' running ability if he's not having a good throwing game. Trevor Lawrence, though, he's too inconsistent right now. Next year, I'm looking at both these guys to have huge jumps. I'm expecting like 30-10 from Trevor, or 34-10 from Trevor, touchdown interceptions. And from Justin Fields, I'm expecting, you'll say about the same. I think some of it will be rushing touchdowns for Justin Fields, though. But in that class, I thought that the 49ers should definitely have taken Justin Fields. I don't know why they took Trey Lance. It never made sense to me then. Doesn't make sense to me now. Can you imagine? Anyway, that's a big thing about me. That I don't understand that draft choice, that decision. But yeah, that's what I got to say. The Justin Fields love, while I do think it is merited in a sense, I don't think we're properly evaluating it. He's had a lot of explosive plays that were because of broken plays, out of the pocket, moving. But in my opinion, it's not sustainable unless I see him win from the pocket more. Will we see that this year? I don't really know. I don't think so, unless defenses start playing him differently, because that offensive line is so bad they can't go to a pocket passing style unless they're forced to, and it hasn't looked good when they have. And then amongst his class, Trevor Lawrence is the only one close right now, in my opinion, and he's too inconsistent. Now, this could change next week if Justin Fields has a bad game and Trevor Lawrence lights whatever team he's playing on fire. It's so different. But anyway, guys, that's all I got. Keep it up, Justin Fields. And I'll talk to you guys later.